I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. As many of you may know, the legend who is quoted saying this is none other than Michael Jordan. Today, I'm going to highlight for you the three main reasons why Michael Jordan was one of the greatest basketball players who ever lived. I've been playing and watching and studying basketball for over 10 years, and no player has ever been more praised or more worshipped than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is known to be one of the hardest working and most accomplished players to ever play the game. His greatness continues to inspire millions of people who aren't even basketball fans, for we all can be inspired by greatness. And there is very few greater than Michael Jordan. The three main points as to why Michael Jordan was one of the greatest basketball players of all time are first, his many skills and abilities, second, the amount of accomplishments that he has won, and third, the way that he is praised by other legends in his profession. My first point as to why Michael Jordan was one of the greatest players of all time is about how great his skills and abilities were. He was known for his amazing shooting and his quickness on the court and his amazing jumping abilities. Michael Jordan had one of the greatest shots ever seen. Infirmary.com is quoted saying, "It is interesting to know that Michael Jordan had 25 buzzer beaters in his NBA career. This is a tribute to his clutch mentality and ability to make tough shots under pressure, and this is true sign of a great player." His speed on the court was unmatched. He is still known today for having one of the quickest first steps. I remember as a kid watching online his films, and it taught me myself to have a better quick first step. And he's known by NBA.com as rated to be the #1 quickest first step players ever to play the game. By placing your opposite foot ahead of your other one is based on what a first step is. For those of you who don't know about basketball, the first step is when you take your opposite foot and you go past the person's opposite leg in order to keep the defender behind you. Michael Jordan's jumping ability is also something out of this world. He is nicknamed Air Jordan because of the way that he jumps in the air. It looks like he's taking flight. And as you can see in my visual aid, it almost looks as if he's like flight bound. And this is the 1997 jumping contest, the slam dunk contest. And this is where he won the contest and got nicknamed Air Jordan. He has performed, in this picture, he performed a one-handed dunk by starting his jump from the free throw line, and that would result in him winning that contest that year. Michael Jordan's skills helped him to become extremely successful and allowed him to lead his team and himself to many accomplishments. Michael Jordan led his team to the Chicago Bulls to 6 NBA championships. He himself won many awards and honors separate from his team as well. NBA.com was quoted saying, a brief listing of his top accomplishments would be the following: Rookie of the Year, 5-time MVP, 6-time NBA champion, 6-time NBA Finals MVP, 10-time All-NBA first team, 9-time NBA All-Defensive Team, and Defensive Player of the Year. And those are just some of his many accomplishments. 50th anniversary all-time team and the 10th scoring NBA scoring record, and he averaged 30 points per game. Because of Michael Jordan's great skills and his many great accomplishments, he is known and respected by many of other great superstars as well. Former Laker and Hall of Famer legend Magic Johnson is quoted by the NBA.com saying, "There's Michael Jordan, and then there's the rest of us." And meaning this, he meant saying that that even himself isn't on the level of Michael Jordan. He thought that all other players in the NBA were great players, of course, but Michael Jordan was on a separate level. And then also, a former Celtic and Hall of Famer Larry Bird was also quoted saying, "God disguised as Michael Jordan." This means that like he literally thought Michael Jordan was so good that he was literally God in uniform. ESPN magazine polled 26 anonymous active NBA players, and none of whom would want LeBron James to take the last shot in a game over Michael Jordan. And for those of you who don't know, LeBron James is currently ranked the best player in the world according to NBA.com. And according to this poll, even though he's the best now, they still would rather have Michael Jordan take the last shot. Michael Jordan will forever be known as a legend and one of the greatest players of all time. He was amazingly gifted and extremely skilled. His jumping ability is off the charts, and his 25 buzzer beaters under his belt is a testimony to his great shot. His first step is unmatched, and his jumping ability is inhuman. Michael Jordan's many victories and accomplishments make him one of the most decorated players ever to play the game. It is no wonder he is respected and honored by legends like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Michael Jordan is truly one of the greatest players of all time. Thank you.
So Eric, are you here? You, okay.
Would you like me to give it again since it's on the written?
Oh, you know what? I was going to, oh, we don't have that push to plug in there. Let's see, did we have it make good? Well, why don't you, go ahead and offer a few comments since you did the written. That wouldn't hurt.
Okay. I really liked your topic in general. I love Michael Jordan. But I really like how you did a preview. I thought your thesis was very strong. You had a lot of info. I loved how you did not assume that people didn't know, like a lot of people didn't know who LeBron James was. I like how you kept into that. You didn't assume that the audience knew. I think you could have used more visuals. You only had one. I thought you could have maybe tied that in. I also really liked how you used a lot of your personal stories into it, and I also really liked this, the quotes you had. A couple of them were actually really funny. They really tied in, and they kept, I think, the audience's attention. Overall, I really liked it.
All right, well, since you said all those things, I'll echo a lot of them. I think that I like the opening quote that you had. I thought you had a good identification of the topic, both with your picture and with the quote. There's a very clear thesis statement. The preview is laid out. It's solid. It feels a little mechanical. And in the body of the speech, I think you run into a couple of issues with the structure, but I generally knew where you were headed. There's a lot of supporting material. You've got a ton of information that you put into the speech, which is fine. Some of the statistical information should get a source citation, but you had plenty of quotes and some other information that you did cite. I'd agree with Jacqueline about the audience interest. I appreciated, for example, the interjection of your personal story about watching him in that first step and how it influenced you. I think that that's the kind of thing that makes it a little bit more interesting. And then the quotes from the other players also adds, I think, some interest level to it. How did they perceive, people who played with Michael Jordan or against Michael Jordan, how did they perceive him? And then I like the fact that you had a nice contemporary piece of information. That's the LeBron James thing, where they asked 26 random unidentified NBA players, who would they prefer to have that final shot, Michael Jordan or LeBron James. And even though LeBron is the king at the moment, the truth of the matter is the king could not dethrone the ultimate king, like 26-0. That's a pretty powerful statement that you're talking about. Somebody, when they put it into context, today's players also recognize this, and I think you do a good job finding that information. The picture is a great picture. but it's all you've got, and so it feels really limited. And it seems like there could be some statistical information that could be visualized graphically. That wouldn't be a hard thing to do. You know, for example, placement on the some of the teams that were being talked about, like you had the 50th year, all-time greatest team. You know, well, Michael Jordan's there. You know, how was he voted on? You know, was he a unanimous choice or something along those lines? I think that there would be things that you could easily add some visualization to it. As it was, that to me was the weakest part of the presentation, is that there's not anything else that's just added to the picture. You know, you just have that one shot. And of course it's an iconic shot. I think everybody appreciates being able to see that. The transitions, I think, are the other thing in the speech that's a little bit problematic for me. You have a tendency, like when you got to that first point, it was very clear that you were at that first point, but it really sounded like it was, here's a sharp turn that we're taking. In other words, it's like, boom, now at the first point, you know, here's where we are. It's very jarring. I did not hear any transition to the second point. I couldn't tell you where the second point started, and you know, that's a little bit of a problem. The last point where you're talking about what, you know, other NBA players said, I knew we were in that point only because you had said at the beginning that we were going to be at that point, and then I'm hearing quotes from Magic and Bird about Michael Jordan. I'm going, oh, well, that's got to be that third point. But again, like I thought, you had a very obvious label on the first point, and then the second and the third point, you didn't have anything that identified those points, and so I think you need to do that a little bit more. Delivery things occasionally have a little bit of a stammer. I don't know if that's anxiety.
Yeah, I know, I naturally started.
Some people have, you know, a little bit of a stutter, but I didn't think it was something that was a big drawback, just something maybe you could work on a little bit. But if it's something that you've had all of your life, then it requires additional work that I'm not competent or qualified to give you suggestions on. But like if it's an anxiety kind of thing, we're going to talk about some things to do to address those kinds of points. I thought it was pretty reasonable for most of the presentation. Like I said, organizational stuff, the technical stuff at the beginning of the speech, that's all really solid. The research, I think, is good in the presentation. Visuals, that's where it falls down a little bit. And then the organizational thing in the body of the speech, I think that was a little bit of a problem. All right, thank you.